Yes, you can grow your entire vegetable garden from seed. It not only saves money, but it's surprisingly easy to do, as long as you avoid some of the most common mistakes. Join me today as I discuss growing your garden from seed, both inside and out. Hi, I'm Gardener Scott, and I can't remember the last time I went to a nursery or garden center and bought plants to put into my vegetable garden. I've been growing from seed for so long that it's just the way I do it now, every single year. The hardest part is figuring out what I'm going to grow. And there are some years, like you and many other gardeners, I'll just go to the store and just pick out seed packets that look interesting and that I want to start in the garden. Or I'll do something like get this collection, the Home Garden Seed Pack from survivalgardenseeds.com. But that's just the beginning. You really do need to plan ahead. You need to anticipate what these plants are going to do in your garden months before they actually have a home in one of your garden beds. And one of the first mistakes that many gardeners make is to not realize the correct timing to start these seeds. I'm looking forward to growing all of these plants in my garden, but if I were to start all of these seeds at the same time, either indoors or outdoors, I'd run into problems. I've divided these seeds into 4 basic categories. There are a number of plants we want to grow that we need to start well in advance indoors. Seeds like tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, and head cabbage. If we wait and sow these seeds directly in the garden outdoors, unless you have a very long gardening season, you're not going to get a harvest. And then there are plants like these that do best if you start them indoors for just a few weeks and then put them outside, like Swiss chard, parsley, basil, lettuce, and broccoli. You can start these outdoors and they'll probably be successful, but they'll do better if you put them out as small transplants. Then there are plants that do best when direct sown into the garden while the weather is still cool. Plants like turnip, lettuce, radish, carrots, spinach, arugula, and beets. You can grow these outside with direct sowing. And then probably the most important group are the plants that you can put outside direct sowing, but it needs to be warm before you do it, like zucchini and watermelon and cucumbers and pumpkin and okra and squash. By understanding the differences between these different plants and when they should be started, you're going to have much better success in your garden. You don't need to guess on this timing. All you need to do is read the seed packet. So when I read the seed packet for these tomatoes, it says, start Roma tomatoes inside 10 to 12 weeks ahead of time to allow plants to grow in a warm environment. And this tomato also says 10 to 12 weeks. And this eggplant says 8 to 12 weeks. The pepper says 8 weeks before transplanting. And the cabbage says 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost date. So what does this all mean? Because the terminology can be a little confusing. Ahead of time, before transplanting, before the last frost date. It's important to recognize that when we're talking about these type of plants, they cannot handle cold conditions. They need to be started indoors to grow into a big enough plant to put outside when the temperatures are warm enough. So all of us have an average last frost date. And I'll put a link below to where you can find yours if you don't know it. That average last frost date is a good point to start. It's a guideline, a date on the calendar when determining what well in advance is, or how many weeks before the last frost date is. By using that date and then backing it up 8 to 10 weeks or 12 weeks, that gives you an idea of when you start these seeds. Additionally, you need to be thinking about when you're actually going to be putting the plants into your garden. So the average last frost date is good for planning, but in my garden, I always add at least 2 more weeks to that date, because here in Colorado, it can still be cold. Maybe not freezing, but too cold to put the plants outside. So that's what these packets are talking about when they say transplanting. And so what do the seed packets say for these other groups of seeds? This broccoli says start indoors 3 to 4 weeks before transplanting outside. This lettuce says start 3 to 4 weeks before hardening off for 2 to 3 days and then put them in the garden. This basil says best started indoors and transplanted after the last frost. This parsley says to start indoors and then plant in an area with full sun. And this Swiss chard says for best results, start inside before transplanting when the plants are 6 to 8 inches tall. While that first group can be damaged or killed if the temperatures drop below freezing, this third group can actually do just fine when the temperatures get that cold. In fact, they can thrive in cool weather. And so when we read the seed packet, we'll read sow directly into deep, fertile soil before the last expected frost. Or this one will be plant as soon as the soil can be worked in spring. That's usually well before the last frost date. This one says sow directly outside in well-worked soil. They do best in cool weather, so plant in early spring. This one also talks about early spring. This one says sow seeds in loose fertile soil during the cool months of spring or fall. This one says grow outdoors in cooler temperatures. Here's another one that's best planted in spring or fall. All of these are the kind of plants that if we wait to put into the ground until it's hot in summer, it's either going to affect their flavor or they're more likely to bolt. They're going to send up a flower stalk because, as is pretty clear, they prefer, and in most cases need, cool weather to grow best. And then, like the first category, we have this fourth category. And these are the ones that we definitely need to wait to put in the ground until after the last frost date. This squash says to plant after the last frost. This dill says sow directly into well-draining soil after the last frost. This sugar pumpkin says after the last frost. This okra says to sow directly outside after the soil reaches 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's melon that also says 70 degrees. And another melon that says 70 degrees. Here's a black beauty zucchini that says 65 degrees. These packets now highlight a second common mistake, and that's putting the seeds in the ground before the proper temperature of the soil has been reached. Now, some of these packets are very specific. 65 degrees for the soil temperature, or 70 degrees for the soil temperature. And when it says after the last frost, note that it wasn't after the last frost date, but it was after all danger of frost. When you reach that point in your garden, the soil will probably be warm enough to support the growth of these plants. It's very easy to determine the temperature. You just have to put in a thermometer. Now, I have a soil probe that I can actually put into my soil to measure the temperature, but in previous years, I just used a meat thermometer to put it in the soil. It's that important. If it weren't important, it wouldn't be on the seed packet. And so many gardeners just wait until their average last frost date, or they wait until a particular date on their calendar, like Mother's Day or Memorial Day, and then they put the seeds in the ground. And they wonder why the plants are stunted, or why they don't get as big as maybe they got in years before. It's often attributed to the soil temperature. If it's too cool, not the daytime temperature or the nighttime temperature, but if the soil is too cool, it's going to slow germination, it's going to slow the growth of the plant, and it could ultimately affect how big a harvest you're going to get. So make sure you're selecting the right time to start your seeds, and also think about the soil temperature when you start your seeds. Now, I am also very aware of the daytime and the nighttime temperatures. As a general guideline for these warmer plants, I like to wait until it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius at night on a regular basis. And so when determining to put these plants, like the peppers and the tomatoes and the eggplants, into the garden, I follow the same basic guidelines as these that I'm starting from seed. I'm waiting until the soil is warm, and I'm waiting until it's warmer at night so that that soil temperature remains warm when those plants are first growing. When you look at those aspects in your garden when starting the seeds, you can expect that you're going to have much better success. Just like with outside growing, I also want to be aware of the temperature needs of the seeds indoors. So I'll often start seeds on a heat mat that warms up the soil and helps germination. If a seed needs 70 degrees Fahrenheit to germinate outside, it's going to need 70 degrees Fahrenheit to germinate inside. And that's where the heat mat comes into play. And some seeds, particularly chili pepper seeds, may need 80 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit for the best germination. If you want to see some of the other things I do when I'm starting my seeds indoors, go ahead and watch one of these videos next. I'm Gardener Scott. Enjoy gardening.